Today I wanted to go over diet drinks and the diet drink industry. Most people don't realize it, but these artificial sweeteners fake our bodies out in a way that we don't realize is happening. Most of the time when we drink, let's say, a 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola, for instance, it's going to have a certain effect on our insulin levels. Our bodies are going to take in this sugar and go, whoa, here's how much insulin I need to let that sugar into the system and into the cells of the body and to process that and create glucose and brain food, let's basically say. Well, when we are kind of marketed to by the powers that be in the industry concerning these artificial sweeteners, people don't realize that that has an entirely different effect on our insulin. So if I were to take a can of Coca-Cola, my body would say, I need to release a certain amount of insulin, so let's call that X amount of insulin to take care of a 12-ounce can of of Coca-Cola. Now let's take a can of Diet Coca-Cola, and the body looks at that and it can't really register these artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, all of these things that you're kind of familiar with, and we've all been told that those are healthy chemicals, that they taste really sweet and they taste really good, but they're very, very safe. Let's get that kind of figured out now, because we're back at a can of Diet Coke. A can of Coke was X requirement of insulin. A diet can of Coke is going to be almost 1200X requirement of insulin. So imagine the body is sitting there going, okay, I'm drinking this Coke and I need, let's say, a teaspoon of insulin to make sure that the sugar is able to be taken into the cells of the body. Well, a Diet Coke is 1200X, so that's like a 5-gallon bucket or something like that of insulin that is supposed to be there to help the body handle all of this sweetness. And that's how the body sees it. See, sugar is a certain amount of sweetness. Saccharin or sucralose or aspartame is a 1200X that sweetness. And that's what throws the body off. The body can't figure it out, and the pancreas is like, we've got an emergency here. There's no way that we can handle this much sweetness and have that much sugar basically go into the cells. We're going to have a real problem down here. So they call downstairs and they say, soldiers, produce as much insulin as possible. Well, guess what the real problem here is that the aspartame or the sweetener gets down to the cellular level and it's not really a sugar at all. It's just a chemical. And in fact, the brain, which thought it was kind of this sweet thing, looks at it and says, oh my gosh, where's the sugar? There's nothing to actually deal with here. And the insulin has all been released. So now you have this stress in the body. And it's looking at it and going, holy buckets, we just created all of this insulin for sugar that never showed up because it was always a chemical to begin with, and it was always this great big lie. Now, we look at these things and we're marketed to all the time. All the time you're being marketed to, and you look on the backside of a Diet Coke and it's just zeros. So in your mind you're thinking, this is good for me. I don't have any carbohydrates, I don't have any fat, I don't have any protein, I don't have any problems. I can drink as much of this as I want to. I can drink a gallon of this all day long. And I've had patients over the years where they will literally sit and they'll drink a 12-pack of Diet Coke. And they'll do that for a while until they really, really start to get sick. And that's a real problem. So people don't realize it, but as this insulin is all released and there's no sugar to actually take care of, that creates an increase in a stress hormone called cortisol. And that's something that we here at Skinny Up take very personally. We're trying to get the cortisol out of the system by, first of all, not allowing you to have any of these chemicals in your body, but second of all, eating real foods, along with using Skinny Up Reduce and reducing the yeast issue in the body. Therefore, all of these artificial sweeteners and anything that tastes like sugar really doesn't taste that good to the body anymore. So we are here to help you understand this better and better. Remember one thing though, that aspartame, sucralose, isotame, all of these things are so much sweeter than the body and the brain can even handle, that we're being lied to at the cellular level. And all of a sudden you are creating a thing that is such an addictive chemical that you can't get away from it. Until next time, I hope you have some good information from this, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.